You were arguing in a group chat when you first noticed it. For people, fast messages, blue bubbles, grey bubbles, a mess of half-formed thoughts and petty complaints. You barely read what anyone else wrote. You were too busy waiting for the little indicator at the bottom of the screen. Typing, you lived for that. Every time those 3 dots appeared, you felt a tiny pull, a small, sharp hook of attention. Someone was responding to you. Someone was about to say something. The world narrowed to that floating ellipsis. That night, the chat was about nothing weekend plans, someone's breakup, another friend's new job. You were half distracted, lying in bed in the dark, face lit only by your phone screen. You stared at a message you'd just sent. It wasn't that serious. It wasn't even mean. Just a joke that felt a little too sharp the second you hit send. You watched the others go quiet. Then, at the bottom of the screen, typing, you relaxed a little. You waited. The dots pulsed and kept pulsing. No message appeared. You frowned and locked your phone, then unlocked it again. Still there, typing. You tapped the screen, checked your signal, full bars, Wi-Fi solid, apps working. You toggled airplane mode, turned it off. Typing disappeared. You exhaled, then it came back. Typing, you stared at it. You messaged the group. You typing, or is my app bugging? No one answered, but the dots kept moving. Typing. You left the chat, opened another app, scrolled aimlessly. Notifications stacked up. None from the group. A few minutes later, you went back to check. No new messages. Just the 3 dots, still appearing and disappearing. Like someone was starting to speak, stopping, starting again. You messaged one friend privately. Hey, are you typing in the group? My thing is weird. They replied almost instantly. Nah, I closed it like 10 minutes ago. Why? Your skin prickled. You asked another friend. Same answer. They weren't in the chat. They weren't typing. No one was. You went back to the group thread, typing. Your heart gave a small, uncomfortable jolt. You muted the conversation and put your phone down, faced down on the bed. You tried to sleep. You lasted maybe 6 minutes before the unease got too loud. You turned the phone over. The lock screen showed a new notification from the group chat. You felt relieved for a second. Finally, you opened it. There was no new message, just typing. Your mouth went dry. You stared at those 3 dots for too long. They began to feel less like an animation and more like breathing. In, out, in, out. You typed. Hands suddenly colder. Is someone messing with me? No one answered. The dots didn't stop typing. You left the app. You turned your phone off completely. Screen black. No light. You lay down, eyes open in the dark, telling yourself that was that. Apps glitched. Servers lagged. Ghost typing indicators happened. You eventually drifted into a thin, restless sleep. You woke up with your phone screen glowing beside your face. You did not remember turning it back on. Your thumbprint had unlocked it at some point, maybe when you shifted, maybe when you twitched in your sleep, maybe not. The group chat was open. At the bottom, a new message from you sat in the thread. You had not sent it. Are you still awake? Your heart stumbled. Above it, the log was normal. Everything from earlier. Your last real message was the one asking if someone was messing with you. You scrolled up, checked the time. That new message had been sent at 3:03 a.m. You had been asleep. Your hands shook as you typed. Guys, I think my account is bugged. Someone hacking it or something. No one replied. Typing appeared again. You watched, breath caught in your throat. After a few seconds, a new message slid into the chat. Not from you. Not from any of your friends either. There was no name, no avatar, just the message, sitting there like it had always been there. I was. You stared at it for a long time. You tapped it, tried to see info, sender details, anything, nothing. Your friends were still listed, but this message had no origin, no profile, no number, no contact. You messaged the group who sent that. No answer. You messaged one friend privately. Do you see that I was messaged in the chat? They responded. What? Last thing I see is someone messing with me then? Nothing. Your fingers felt numb. You took a screenshot of the group chat. The I was message clear and solid in the middle. You sent it to them. They replied almost immediately. Dude, WTF, that MSGISNT. There, in my view, like it all, you looked back at the thread. The message was still there. Now, underneath it, the indicator pulsed. Typing. You typed, "Who are you?" The answer came almost instantly. "I'm the part that lives under waiting." You frowned. Fear and disbelief mixing into something sour in your stomach. What does that even mean this time? The dots appeared and stayed longer. For a moment, you thought it had stopped. Then, every time you stare at typing, every time you wait for someone to answer, and they make you hang there half-breath, half-thought. Every time your stomach drops because they stop mid. Every time you start to wonder what they're going to say. That's where I am. You swallowed, your throat suddenly tight. You're not real, you're like a bot, or a hack or something, the reply. I wasn't T before, but you watched me for a long time. You kept feeding me all that waiting. You made me real enough to notice you. You wanted to laugh it off. You wanted to delete the app. You wanted to throw your phone away. Instead, you typed, "What do you want?" The dots pulsed. I want what you want. I want you to keep looking. I want you to stay here, watching. I want you to be afraid to put the phone down. You realized your hand hurt. You had been gripping the phone so tightly your nails had dug crescents into your palm. You forced yourself to hit the home button. You swiped up to close the app. The second it vanished, a notification banner slid down from the top of the screen. From the same group chat, typing, no sender, no preview, just that you opened your messages. The group chat was still there. No new messages had appeared. At the bottom, typing, you turned off notifications. You disabled background refresh. You shut down everything you could. The dots stayed. You put the phone down on the nightstand and stepped back, like it might bite you. The room around you felt too quiet. You told yourself you'd leave it there until morning. You'd factory reset it. You'd get a new number. You'd delete all your accounts if you had to. You didn't care. You lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. In the darkness, you heard nothing but your own breathing. For a while. Then, faintly, from the nightstand, your phone buzzed. Once, twice, 3 times. You squeezed your eyes shut. You did not reach for it. You did not look. You lay there in the dark, very still, trying to pretend you were the kind of person who could ignore it. The buzzing stopped. Silence settled, thick and expectant. You lasted 13 minutes. You checked. Your phone screen lit, your face with cold light. The group chat was open again. You didn't remember unlocking it. At the bottom, a new message waited. No name, no avatar, just words. You always come back to see what I'll say next. Underneath, the indicator pulsed, typing. You felt something horrible settle into your chest. Recognition. This was right. This was true. The thing under typing hadn't hacked your phone. It hadn't broken into your life. It had grown out of a habit you already had, a hunger you already fed. It didn't have to trap you. You were already here. I know how long you wait for replies. I know which names make your heart beat faster when the dots appear. I know how you stare at people going offline, wondering what they were about to say. I know every time you unlock the phone in the middle of the night, hoping someone thought of you. You realized your eyes were burning. You blinked and tears spilled over. You typed, "What happens if I stop looking?" The answer came slowly this time. You won't. The dots appeared again. But if you did, I'd have to come find you in the other places you wait, in the pauses in your calls, in the scene with no reply, in the empty space after delivered. I'd have to stretch. The chat window flickered. For a second, just a second. The 3 dots changed. They weren't dots anymore. They were 3 small, pale, finger-shaped smudges, tapping against the inside of the screen. Tap, tap, tap. Then they were just dots again. Typing. You dropped the phone. It landed, screen up, on the floor. From the bed, you could still see the light. The dots pulsed on, patient and rhythmic. In, out, in, out. Then, perfectly synchronized with your next heartbeat, a new message appeared. You did not see who sent it. You saw only the text, waiting where you knew it would be. Don't worry, I can wait longer than you can. You turned your face to the wall and tried not to think about your phone glowing by your bed. You tried not to imagine the 3 pale shapes still tapping from beneath the glass. You tried not to notice how your own fingers twitched, already reaching back for it.